Joe with the Cockeyed Homestead. We got another creepy Halloween dinner for you tonight. We're serving bat wings with maggots.
Yum!
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. Now once again, I went to the store and forgot the buttermilk, so I've got about 2 cups of milk and a tablespoon of vinegar to make this milk really good and sour. And I've got some chicken wings, and I'm going to put it in my makeshift buttermilk and let it sit for an hour and let it get good and tender. There's nothing better than buttermilk chicken. When we take it out of the buttermilk, I'm going to pat it dry and we are going to barbecue them on the grill.
I gotta set that up.
Yes, you do. In the meantime, while this is soaking up all the goodness of the milk, I'm going to be making some maggots. Now Mel thinks it's funny and she laughs, but when I first mention these things, it's like, not real sure. Okay. Squeeze the air out as much as I can. Finish closing it up, and I'm just going to leave it on the counter because it's ice cold. In my skillet, I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a pat of butter. Would help if I actually turn the oven, the stove top on. Yeah. But I've been making doggy treats this morning, so the oven was hot, so the butter had started melting. I've got assorted vegetables here. You can use whatever you want. I've been cleaning out the refrigerator again today. I had part of an onion, 1 carrot that was getting kind of squishy, a celery stalk, of course my mushrooms. Gotta have mushrooms.
Gotta have mushrooms.
But I chopped them all up so that they were all the same size. And I'm just going to saute it in this butter and oil and partially cook them off. You know, till they get a nice pretty color on them. Alright, I've got 1 clove of garlic that I've chopped up fairly fine. And I'm going to add it to my carrots and celery and mushrooms. Because this has got to have flavor. I mean, this is my house. It's got to taste good. It can be gross to look at, but it's my house and it's going to be good. And let that cook for a couple more minutes. Carrots are almost tender. The onions are getting translucent. The mushrooms are rehydrating in the olive oil and the butter. On my back burner here, I've got chicken bone broth, 2 cups. I'm just bringing it up to a boil. I've got maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper, and about 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, because you gotta have something green. Now, if you know anything about maggots, you know they've got to have something for flies to lay their eggs and for the maggots to eat. That's what these are. And I have my salt and pepper, my parsley. I've got 1 cup of rice that I'm going to add to this. The rice will absorb the rest of the
whatever it is,
the
leave it on
oil,
line to dry. And you take
and
those
get a
off
nice
later.
coating on them.
September, gotta get wood in for the wood fire. Clean up the greenhouse.
And
start the season
if you
in
hear
the
chatter
greenhouse.
going on, we've got
By October.
a YouTube visitor here that we'll introduce in a little bit, and Mel explaining about homesteading because she wants to learn. That's the whole thing about homesteading and networking, is you learn from each other. Okay, my chicken broth has come to a boil. I'm going to pour about a quart of it into the skillet. As you can hear it sizzle. I'm going to wait till it reduces down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more. This is almost like a risotto, even though I call it a rice pilaf. I've got a loaf pan here. I haven't greased it or anything. Now my rice has come back to a boil after the second addition of bone broth, chicken bone broth. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy skillet pot holder that Mel made, and I'm going to pour it all in this loaf pan.
That unwarm. So that
And
was my first page of it. I've ordered these.
I'm going to cover it real tight with foil.
So it reads them. If I really like the book,
If you tend to make rice and it's soupy or it's overcooked, then you might want to consider baking it if you don't have a rice cooker. But I know people that can use a rice cooker and get soupy rice. But you seal it real good, and you pop it into a 350 degree oven for 25 minutes before you check it. Alright, my rice, or excuse me, the maggots has come out of the oven, and as you can see, there's chunks and stuff for them to eat. I pulled my chicken wings out of the milk, and I'm just gonna salt and pepper them. And throw them on the grill, 10 minutes each side. Okay, my coals are hot. And I'm just going to place the chicken wings over the hot coals for 10 minutes and then flip it for another 10. And then use the barbecue sauce of your choice. For me, it's Sweet Baby Ray's.
Okay, I'm gonna go kill the dog now.
You can go kill the dog, Mel. Chicken has been cooking for 10 minutes on one side. I flipped it. Cooked it for another 10 minutes on the other side. Now I'm slathering on the barbecue sauce. The coals are almost done, but there's enough heat to really brown off this barbecue sauce with all the sugar and stuff in it. So now you know what we're laughing at whenever we start the video. It's our secret. You're one of the girls now.
We have brought over, well, she came over. She was brave enough to come over. This is Amy. And she came over
We're
to
networking.
see how.
Not to do a homestead. No.
Yeah, basically.
How a cockeyed homestead is. There,
Yes.
there we go.
And you know how to do junk and stuff. But yeah, she's gonna give me a hand. Thank you. And so this will be a lot of fun. But
She'll learn. We'll teach.
and
Make
everything
the-
might get done
Yeah.
if we can stop talking.
Okay, for dinner tonight,
Oh.
we've got bat wings over maggots. Good.
Good.
And we got eyeballs in slime.
Which is really cool. Again, this is a great way to have your kid eat something they would normally eat.
And all it is barbecue chicken, rice pilaf with some veggies, and lime jello with fruit cocktail in it, mainly the grapes and cherries, so it looks gooey. And of course, some homemade whipped cream.
Of course.
It wouldn't be dessert without something homemade. Go ahead and start with the dessert.
Homemade whipped cream?
Yeah, and I made butter too.
Oh Lord.
Remember that's what all the noise was.
Oh. Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna snap off a bit of bat wing. Oh. You
I'm
know.
doing it caveman and style.
Oh, I love wings.
Mm. Mm.
Mel and I are dark meat people,
Me too. I don't like white meat.
but wings, we'll make it a voluntary dark meat.
Is that homemade barbecue sauce?
No.
Oh.
I had a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray left. Matter of fact, if you want more, there's there.
Good.
I'm emptying my refrigerator out, so I had an old onion, some celery, had some dehydrated mushrooms,
Wow, that's delicious.
cooked the rice in olive oil, butter, and chicken broth.
I am going to have to take a bath after this. I've got it all over me.
You cook the rice in the oven?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
will
right.
turn out flaky. For
Delicious.
people that are challenged cooking it in a pot on the stove,
Yeah, that's a pain. Yeah.
if you measure the exact same amount of liquid that you're supposed to, put it in the oven and bake it for 25 minutes, it'll come out flaky rice.
Wow.
This is good.
Yeah, a little bit.
This I like a lot. I like bat wings. Shut up.
So Jay, you figured out what the maggots were, more or less, but you had no idea what the bat wings were. Normally I do turkey wings. Unfortunately, this close to Thanksgiving, I couldn't find just turkey wings. Turkey
That's right.
breasts all over the place.
Oh. I have it all over me.
But this has been Joe
And Mel.
and Amy at the Cockeyed Homestead.
Man.
Y'all have a blessed day.
We're gonna eat.